You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and third overall pick.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Ryan. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover, too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the second level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and 1, Wentz, and complete to Zach Ertz. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
They'll try to run with Hines, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Ryan to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got Shockey. Touchdown, Falcons! Matt Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of this opening quarter. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the Falcons score to cap it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run on first down. Hines. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Well, look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work out a little bit more.
And he comes back with one complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Here we go, Pac-Man. Waiting. Hang on, Nisa. Run. Kill. Check.
On first down, it's Hines. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here we go. Waiting. Hey, Rip 5-2. On here.
Wentz now on first down. That's complete to his running back, Grant. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Back. Kill.
This is Hines. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against his zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. To throw, it's Wentz, and he connects with Ertz. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
No. Here we go. Check 99. Check 99. Great.
They'll run on first down. Hines down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Hines. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Check three. Check. Solid. Check great 57. Man 5-7. Double up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal.
A 27-yard attempt.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
Now it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be out right at the 35. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well.
It's caught at the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant. 82, 14. Check, 59.
Throwing now is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Eagles' 44-yard line.
Now the second-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Now the second-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So we have come to... So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 7, Wentz throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Grant. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 44, Ryan gets it off to Freeman. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan, and a quick throw here, that's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
First down.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Hines, and he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They come out here in the I. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Empty. 36.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Nyheim Hines with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. Extra point put through by Succop. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe it's Julio Jones all alone. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Falcons push further out in front. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From Falcon territory now, here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run with Hines. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Push him back. Push him. 5'9", 5'9".
Throwing on second and 8. Wentz. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wentz. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nyheim Hines, 27 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Ryan finding Julio out wide. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for him because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did him no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for him. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Hey, pick your game up. 45. 2-jet. Mike, 45.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now Wentz again. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Throwing is Wentz. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They run again with Hines. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes